go straight and sing the national anthem. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We've won freedom's fight. Oh, one strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hand. Let us, all her people, join as one, brothers under the sun. Oh, one strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace neath Zambia's sky. Like a noble eagle in its flight, Zambia, praise to thee. Oh, one
together. Dear God and our Father in heaven, we come in your presence to say thank you for this noble task that you've given us. Today, we come to you as citizens of this country of Zambia at such a decisive moment, knowing full well that this work of God is not about us, it's about you. We want to pray, dear God, for the chairperson, even as she addresses us alongside the commissioners, that your grace will be upon them. We look to you that this conversation will be peaceful and that, dear God, you will be honored in our conversations. We pray overall that, Father, the electoral process will experience peace because, our God, you're the source of peace. Teach us, O God, to love our neighbors, that you, like you've told us in your word. Therefore, we look to you that in all these things we shall be led by the guidance of the Holy Spirit from the beginning to the end. We ask in Christ Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. We can take our seats. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished stakeholders. You're welcome to this meeting where thank you very much. Welcome to this meeting where the Commission would like to update you on its preparedness to conduct the 2026 general election. At this moment, I wish to acknowledge the presence of the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the Vice Chairperson, the members, and the CEO, who will be introduced at a later stage. At this point,
Good morning, everyone. My name is Stella Kapinga from Youth Arise Zambia.
Good morning, Chair and Commissioners and everyone. I'm Gideon Mwapemsonda from Advocates for Democratic Governance Foundation.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairperson and the Commissioners. My name is Clarence Muziamba. I'm from Zest. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kola Lamangimela from Prisons Care and Counseling Association.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, honorable members and CEO. I'm Isaac Mwanza, Chairperson of the Consortium of Civil Society Organizations for Good Governance and Constitutionalism. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson, and good morning, Commissioners. My name is Clifton Chifue, a member of the Consortium of Civil Society Organization on Good Governance and Constitutionalism.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners and CEO. My name is Arthur Muyunda from SACOD and a member of the Consortium of Civil Society Organization on Good Governance and Constitutionalism.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. My name is Teresa Zambose Zulu from Misa Zambia.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners, and good morning, everyone. My name is Aboisong Sobanda from the Human Rights Commission.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My full name's Piri Langson from Developmental Partnership Initiatives. Thank you.
Alliance on Legal Reforms.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chair. My name is Nathan T. Mlenga. I'm the Vice Chair for Swala Pilu Organization.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mujane Mwale. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mujane Mwale. I'm coming from the Council of NGOs in Zambia.
Good morning. My name is Roy Mwilu, also coming from the Council of NGOs in Zambia. I'm the chairperson there. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning to everyone. My name is Yeta Shalom and I'm coming from Youth for Parliament.
I salute you in Jesus' precious mighty name. Nelson Musonda is my name. I'm coming from Unit Change Foundation.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. James Zulu from Unit for Change Foundation. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Elijah Ruvuta. I'm from the Foundation for Democratic Process, which is also a member of the Governance Election Support Network.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Commissioners and everyone else. My name is Richo Mulwani. I'm coming from the Anti-Voter Path Project, AVAP, and also a member of JSN Zambia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amudilo Emmanuel from the Zambia National Federation of the Blind. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth Goma. I'm the Commonwealth Youth Ambassador for Zambia and also a member of Common Grounds Network.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everyone. I'm Vusumu Zisifile. I'm from Panos Institute, Southern Africa. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everybody. I'm Anne Bewe Namela from NGOCC, Non-Governmental Gender Organizations Coordinating Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Fides Tembatemba, Action Aid Zambia. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shalom Mwapekanguya from Zambia Federation of Disability Organizations, ZAFOD. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nelly Alohanga from BBC Media Action.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Victor Msonda, also from BBC Media Action.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My name is Amkuka Emmanuel from Make Zambia Great Movement. Thank you.
All protocol be highly observed. My name is Tankiso Selo, coming from Make Zambia Great Movement.
Please, let's speak through the microphone so that you are audible enough. You can hear that I'm very audible from the front here. So please, let's speak up so that we can be heard.
Good morning. My name is Mwanja Mwanza, coming from NGOCC.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, High Table. My name is Joanne Savila from Prime TV.
Good morning, High Table. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Jimmy Ngambi from the House of Clergy, Zambia.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mutale Mkuka with the National Democratic Institute for International Affairs, NDI.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Francesca Leonetti, and I come from UNDP.
My name's Reverend Chaplain Ina Kamanga from Mage.
Good morning and win today. My name's Pastor Chaplain Betha Katenda from Missionary Ambassadors for Global Evangelism. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Bishop Wilson Mwanza, Vice Chairperson from Missionary Ambassadors for Global Evangelism.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Ronald Sakala from Missionary Ambassadors for Global Evangelism. I'm the Presidential Communication Affairs Director of Programs. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bishop Elias Changa. I'm the chairperson from Missionary Ambassadors for Global Evangelism.
Good morning, Chair and everyone. I'm Bishop Simon Lungu, coming from MEJ, Missionary Ambassador for Global Evangelism.
Good morning, Chairperson, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christopher Mwalu Saka from Missionary Ambassadors for Global Evangelism. I'm the Director of Evangelism. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Umu Diariso. I'm a chaplain from MEJ.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Doris Piri from MEJ.
Good morning. My name is Father Gabriel Maplanga. I'm a Catholic priest and director for Caritas Zambia.
Good morning. I'm Father Francis Mukosa from ZCCB.
Good morning, Chairperson and Commissioners and CEO. I'm Reverend Alan Kasungami, IFZ Executive Director, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia. Thank you.
Yes, we can introduce ourselves, our colleagues.
Morning, Chair and the Commission. Good morning, everyone. I'm Emma Mwinga Simfukwe. I'm from the Electoral Commission.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members, and good morning, everyone. My name is Matas Kota from the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, everyone. My name is Lukwesa Msonda. I'm coming from the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lombe Kasanda, also coming from the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ulaya Brian C. from ZCTU. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Annette Chola. I'm Director for Organization and Trade Union Development at Zambia Congress of Trade Unions.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chair. I'm Reverend Christopher Chimbari from from Life Ministry Church.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas Simanza from the University of Zambia.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Vincent Piri from the Bus and Taxi Association of Zambia.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Levi Mungara from Make Zambia Great Movement.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Chair. My name is Linda Nyondo from Real Times Digital Media.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Shalwala from Kwitu FM.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anita Kabemba from Hot FM.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
Could you
Chair.
please,
My name
the previous speaker, we couldn't hear your name.
My name is Anita Kabemba from Hot FM.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Lawrence Kamsembe from Community Action Focus. Thank you so much. Good morning, Chair. My name is Alex Hamoya Mwinga. I'm coming from NGO Missionary Ambassador for Global Evangelism. I thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chair. My name is Shepard Mwamba. I'm coming from Gears Initiative, Zambia.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angela Mchichi from Times of Zambia.
Good morning. This is Matthews Marazika from Zambia Daily Mail.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Tinta Hamsangwa from Diamond TV.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elijah Munkombwe from News Diggers.
Good morning. My name is Josephat Mbewe from Radio Phoenix.
Media, we expect you to be louder even than everyone else. You are communicators. Please, let's have your voices heard.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Muitaka Tete from Daily Nation.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Katie Kalumba from Mobilization Foundation.
Good morning, everybody. I'm James Mwanza from Make Zambia Great Movement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Msonda from the Mass Newspaper.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Commissioners. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Chimida from Zonis TV.
Tributes to the Electoral Commission of Zambia Chairperson, ECZ, Madam Mangazwamis, the ECZ commissioners, ECZ members of staff, delegates from the first base organizations, and fellow journalists. My name is Hanok Kasama from the NBC. Thank you very much. God bless.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Faustina Kalala. I'm from ECZ.
Our colleagues on the cameras.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Kayombo from KBN TV.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robinson Chandamwango from Crown TV.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Justin Banda from Sun FM Radio and TV.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Toliwe Banda from Prime TV.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Stanford Nzira from ZMBC.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Makwele, and I'm coming from Rediv Media.
Good morning, Madam Moderator. Good morning to the high table. My names are Vernon Chitifi with Rediv Media. Thank you.
One more. He was almost hiding in his camera.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Leonard Musmari. I'm coming from Rediv Media.
Okay.
My name is Leonard Musmali. I'm coming from Rediv Media.
Thank you very much, Raphael. Did you introduce yourself?
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Raphael Piri from the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all the introductions. My name is Sylvia Walia. I'm Senior Corporate Affairs Officer, Electoral Commission of Zambia. At this juncture, I would like to introduce the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Brown Casaro, may you greet the people, sir?
Good morning, distinguished delegates. Thank you.
At the same time, I would like to call upon the CEO to introduce the chairperson, the vice chairperson, and the members.
Thank you, Sylvia. Once again, good morning to your distinguished stakeholders. I will proceed to introduce the members of the Commission and indeed the chairperson. I'll start from my immediate left is Commissioner Zavyanji Sinkala. You may greet the meeting. So.
Thank you, CEO. Good morning, distinguished invited stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Next to Commissioner Sinkala is Commissioner McDonald Spenzi. You may greet the delegate.
Good morning, colleagues from the civil society, my former territory, and my dear media colleagues, my former territory, and also the church. Good morning.
It's still his present territory. Thank you. On my furthest left is Commissioner Ambassador Ndio Mtiti. You may greet the stakeholder.
Good morning, distinguished stakeholders, and welcome to this engagement.
Next is the Vice Chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, General Vincent Mukanda. You may greet the meeting, sir.
Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. It's now my distinguished honor to introduce the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, Mrs. Mwangala State Council. Chair, you may greet the delegates.
Good morning, distinguished stakeholders. It's very nice to have you here. You're welcome. Thank you.
Distinguished delegates, once again, thank you for honoring the invitation. This meeting is to brief you as civil society, faith-based organization, and indeed local monitors together with the media on the preparedness of the Commission for the general election. Before I invite the chairperson, I would like to apologize on behalf of the Commission for starting our meeting later than advised. But given that you are in the electoral process also, in a way, you appreciate the time that the Commission is in, putting together the final pieces as we await Thursday, which will be poll day. So thank you for your patience, and we are now ready to engage with you as we proceed to August 13th. With that, it's now once again my singular honor to invite the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia to come and deliver her opening remarks for this engagement. Chairperson.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning once again. Good morning. Good morning. Are we all here? Civil society, faith-based. I was pleased to learn that there's someone from the university. That's very nice for you to have come. So we are happy that you are here. I wish you could follow this electoral process even outside Lusaka, in the far-flung polling stations. They yearn your attention and also your services in those far-flung areas of Zambia. However, it's very nice to have this engagement with yourselves. Members of the Commission, the Chief Electoral Officer, representatives of civil society organizations and faith-based organizations, representatives of the local election monitoring organizations, and of course the media. You are always with us. Wherever we've traversed this country, you've been there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this important stakeholder engagement convened by the Electoral Commission of Zambia as we draw closer to the polling day, which is 13th of August, 2026. Allow me at this stage to thank you for honoring our invitation and for your continued participation in Zambia's electoral process. The Commission recognizes civil society, faith-based organizations, and local election monitors. I think today we are on home ground, isn't it? As important stakeholders whose work contributes to transparency, accountability, civic participation, and public confidence in the electoral process. We've had a series of stakeholder meetings and engagements, and these were convened in the last days before the polling day. And this is one of such engagements. On 7th of August, the Commission engaged political parties and candidates' representatives. On 8th of August, we met with international election observers. Today, we are pleased to engage civil society, faith-based organizations, and local election monitors as part of our continuing commitment to openness, transparency, and inclusive stakeholder engagement. These engagements reflect the Commission's recognition that credible elections are supported by informed stakeholders who understand the electoral processes and are able to participate in them effectively and responsibly. Ladies and gentlemen, civil society organizations occupy an important place in Zambia, in Zambia's democracy, in Zambia's democratic and electoral processes. Through voter and civic education, advocacy, public awareness, election monitoring, and engagement with citizens and institutions, civil society contributes to an informed electorate and promotes meaningful participation in the democratic process. Local election monitors similarly play an important role by independently monitoring electoral activities across the country. Because you operate within our communities and interact with citizens and electoral stakeholders. Therefore, you are well placed to observe the conduct of the electoral processes at the local level and contribute to greater transparency and public confidence. The Commission, therefore, values your participation and remains committed to facilitating the work of accredited local monitors in accordance with the law and applicable accreditation requirements. Today's meeting is intended to provide you with first-hand, accurate, and authoritative information, key aspects of the electoral process as we approach polling day. The presentations that will be made will cover among other things, accreditation and the results management process. These are critical aspects of election administration, and it is important that civil society organizations and local monitors have a clear understanding of the procedures, safeguards, and accountability mechanisms that apply. We encourage you to use this opportunity to ask and seek clarifications, ask questions wherever necessary. The Commission believes that direct engagement with stakeholders provides an important opportunity to address concerns, clarify procedures, and promote a common understanding of the electoral process. The Commission also appreciates the participation of stakeholders who witnessed key electoral activities in the last 5 years. We appreciate you very much. You've been following us, like CCMG and others, including the arrival, receipt, and verification of ballot papers in Lusaka. Such participation enables stakeholders to independently witness the safeguards surrounding important electoral processes and contributes to transparency and confidence in the administration. We thank the people who witnessed the arrival, because there was so much talk that the ballot papers were coming from somewhere else. I'm sure you're aware of that, and not from where they were actually coming from, because you were there to witness the arrival, including the safeguarding of the same ballot papers in the warehouses. Ladies and gentlemen, as we enter the final days before polling day, the role of civil society and local election monitors becomes even more important. For those who will be deployed as accredited monitors, your presence at polling stations and other authorized locations provides an opportunity to independently monitor the conduct of electoral processes and contribute to informed assessment of the election. The Commission encourages all accredited monitors to carry out their responsibilities professionally, objectively, and impartially, and in accordance with the laws of Zambia and the conditions governing their accreditation. While monitoring the electoral process, it is important to respect the responsibilities of election officials, and we urge you not to interfere with the conduct of the polling or the polling staff, counting, or other electoral procedures. Equally, the Commission expects its election officials to respect the lawful role that you play, the lawful role of duly accredited monitors, and facilitate their work in accordance with the applicable procedures. So it's both ways. The Commission believes that openness to lawful and independent scrutiny strengthens the electoral process. Monitoring provides stakeholders with an opportunity to assess electoral processes on the basis of what they directly observe and establish through credible and objective methodologies. Ladies and gentlemen, civil society organizations also have an important responsibility in helping citizens understand and participate meaningfully in the electoral process. As polling day approaches, we encourage you to continue promoting peaceful participation, respect for the law of the law, and access to accurate electoral information. Citizens must be encouraged to exercise their democratic right freely, peacefully, and responsibly. We particularly recognize the important contribution that civil society can make in reaching communities, including women, young persons, persons with disabilities, and other groups whose effective participation is essential to an inclusive electoral process. The Commission remains committed to ensuring that all eligible voters are able to participate in the election in accordance with the law, and that the electoral process is administered in a manner that is impartial, transparent, and inclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commission is mindful that the final days before an election are often characterized by heightened public interest and an increased circulation of information through traditional and digital media platforms. In such an environment, misinformation and disinformation can spread rapidly. False or misleading information about voting procedures, polling stations, ballot papers, election results, or the conduct of electoral officials can create unnecessary anxiety. It can undermine public confidence and, in some instances, threaten peace and public order. Civil society organizations and local monitors, therefore, have an important role to play in promoting responsible access to information. We encourage you to rely on verified and authoritative information, and where questions or concerns arise, to seek clarification from the Commission through the appropriate channels. Information gathered through monitoring should similarly be handled responsibly, accurately, and within the appropriate context. In particular, we urge stakeholders to exercise caution before sharing unverified information, especially through social media platforms, where inaccurate information can circulate widely within a very short period. By ensuring that information shared with the public is factual and properly verified, we can collectively minimize misinformation and disinformation and contribute to an electoral environment founded on facts, confidence, and trust. Ladies and gentlemen, as local monitors, you'll be among those observing electoral processes at close range. Your reports and assessments may contribute not only to public understanding of these elections, but also to lessons and recommendations for strengthening future electoral processes. We therefore encourage you to distinguish clearly between verified observations, allegations, and speculation, and to ensure that your assessments are evidence-based, objective, and fair. Where concerns arise in the course of your monitoring, we encourage you to make use of the appropriate channels for seeking clarifications and reporting matters requiring attention. Constructive engagement enables concerns to be addressed while preserving the orderly conduct of electoral processes. Ladies and gentlemen, the Electoral Commission of Zambia remains steadfast in its constitutional mandate to conduct elections that are free, fair, transparent, and credible. We remain guided by the principles of impartiality, professionalism, accountability, transparency, and inclusiveness in the discharge of our constitutional mandate. With only a few days remaining before polling day, the responsibility before all of us is significant. While our respective mandates and roles may differ, we share an interest in the electoral process that is peaceful, transparent, credible, and trusted by the Zambian people. Let us all contribute to an environment in which the people of Zambia can exercise their democratic right peacefully and confidently on the 13th of August, 2026, and in which the electoral process is respected by all stakeholders. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, I thank you for your continued engagement and contribution to the electoral process. I wish you a productive meeting, and to those who will be deployed across the country, a successful monitoring exercise. It is now my pleasure to declare this meeting officially open. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for those remarks. May we please give the Chairperson of the Commission another round of applause. Thank you very much. We are about to go into another segment of our meeting where we will have a presentation on the key aspects on the Commission's preparedness to conduct the 2026 general election, which is just in a few days, as you've already heard from the Chairperson. I hope that all of us in here are registered voters and that all of us are going to vote come Thursday, and ensure that you take care of your voter's card and your NRC the way you would take care of your passport when you travel outside the country. So in the next few days, guard your NRC and your voter's card. At this point, I wish to call upon Manager Voter Education, Mrs. Emma Mwinga Simfukwe, who is going to give us a presentation on the Commission's preparedness. So just before we go to the presentation, the Chairperson of the Commission and the members, as you have already heard, this is a very critical period. There are so many engagements all happening at the same time. And so they may leave us immediately before the presentation. I just want to call upon the Chairperson. Maybe she has something to say or to say bye to you.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. We wish we could sit around and also share these engagements that you're going to have after this, but unfortunately, there are such pressing issues that require our attention right now. But I'm sure you enjoy the presentations and ask questions and clarifications where need be. I wish you a fruitful engagement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. The Chairperson and the members will leave us now as I call upon Mrs. Emma Mwinga to come forward for the presentation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation. So this afternoon, I will give a presentation of the preparedness of the Electoral Commission of Zambia ahead of the Thursday's general election. And how we'll proceed is that I will make the presentation first, and then if you have any questions, then we will have plenary thereafter. So in terms of my presentation outline, we will discuss the roadmap, then the register of voters, what is the number we are sitting on. We will discuss also the candidates in this year's election, publicity and voter education efforts, conflict management and early warning. Then we will talk about accreditation, the training of poll staff, material distribution for the election. Then we will talk about the poll day procedures, results management, and then we will discuss allocation of proportional representation seats. To begin with, I think in 2024, the Commission disseminated its roadmap to outline the critical milestones that it needed to work towards ahead of the general election. So we have an outline as displayed of some of the key milestones that we had to work towards leading to the general election. So in October 2025, between 13th and 29th November 2025, the Commission conducted nationwide voter registration. This was in addition to continuous registration of voters that was being conducted in the 30 districts across the country. This registration culminated into a provisional register of voters that was subjected to inspection between the 2nd of March and 10th of March by citizens that had registered. And then this also process of the inspection of the register of voters culminated into the Commission certifying its register of voters on 4th of May. Due to constitutional reforms that we all are aware of, the Commission had to undertake delimitation of constituencies. This was as a result of constitutional changes that had occurred through the amendment of Constitution Amendment Act number 13 of 2025, where the number of constituencies was increased from 156 to 226. So we conducted delimitation across the country, and we held consultation at various levels between 6th of February and 16th of April. Nominations followed. The Commission conducted nominations for Presidential, National Assembly, and local government elections between the 18th and 22nd of May. Nomination petition window was opened from 19th May to 18th of June. Any person who objected to the nomination of a candidate were at liberty to object or to petition the courts of law in that regard. We commenced accreditation on 22nd of July, and this is going to close on 11th of August. This is in all the 116 districts and also at national level for the National Results Center. Poll Day will be on 13th of August, and this will be followed by a period for results management. So the Commission anticipates to have concluded or to declare the results for the presidential election by 17th of August. It is policy, the Commission has set itself policy that it should declare the presidential result within 72 hours from the close of the last polling station. Between 25th August and 15th September, the Commission will be allocating proportional representation seats. We will delve into the details later in this presentation. In terms of the number of registered voters, we stand at 8,786,300 voters. These are the voters that are going to the polls on 13th of August. And in terms of provincial disaggregation of data, Lusaka province is the province with the highest number of registered voters at 1.4 million. And then we have Muchinga with the least number of registered voters at 435,536. In terms of gender disaggregation, we have 4,665,431 women registered as voters, representing 53.1%. And the male counterparts are at 4,120,869, representing 46.9%. In terms of age disaggregation, we have young people, those that are below the age of 35. 46.3% of them are registered as voters, and while voters who are 35 years and above are standing at 4,719,877, representing 53.7%. We also have disaggregated data in relation to persons with disabilities. So we have about 20,162 persons with disabilities who are registered on the, who have been captured on the register of voters. And out of those, the blind persons are the majority at 7,584,000, and the least category of persons with disabilities are the wheelchair users. These are 2,353. Now, I must mention that there are other categories of disabilities, like those psychosocial disabilities. Those ones are captured in the general numbers. Why? Because some of those disabilities, it was not possible to ascertain who had that form of disability. In terms of our delimitation, this year's election, we have 10 provinces, and in those 10 provinces, we will have mayoral candidates that will contest in the 116 districts. Then we have National Assembly members of parliament who are going to contest in the constituency-based seats, which are 226. Then we have ward-based seats for councillors that are 1,858. We are going to have a total number of 13,529 polling stations that are going to be open across the country. This is a summary of the distribution of our delimitation exercise in terms of reflecting the new constituencies that were delineated, the 70. So in terms of where those 70 are, we have Eastern Province and Southern Province having been allocated 9 constituencies each from the last delimitation, and the lowest district or province rather that received 5 constituencies is Luapula. So we will definitely circulate this presentation later, then you can study the numbers because from where you're seated, some of the numbers may not be visible. In this year's election, I earlier alluded, we are going to have 4 election types. We will have 4 election types. We will be voting for the president, the members of parliament, the mayor or council chairperson, and the councillors. In terms of the candidates who are contesting at presidential level, we have a total number of 14 candidates. Out of those 14, only one is female, representing 7.1%. For National Assembly candidates who are contesting for the 226 seats, we have a total number of 973 candidates, out of which 851 are male and 122 are female. For mayoral and council chairperson elections, we have a total number of 439 candidates contesting for the 116 seats, and out of that, 391 are male, representing 89.1%, and 48 are female, representing 10.9%. For councillors, we have a total number of 5,099 candidates who have successfully filed in their nominations. Out of those, only 433 are female, representing 8.5%, and the rest at 91.5% are male. So there's still a big gender gap that we still need to fill as a country. Campaigns commenced on 21st of May and they will wind up on 12th of August at 18 hours across the country. And it is important to emphasize that the campaigns were guided by campaign schedules that were developed at district level, but also at national level for the presidential candidates. And these campaign schedules have continued to guide the various campaigns that have been going on across the country. The development of campaign timetables is very critical because it helps in the coordination of various campaign activities by political parties and candidates. It also is a tool for violence prevention as well as clashes between political parties when they are canvassing for votes in the various areas. The Commission rolled out its publicity and voter education campaign, and I'm glad that we are talking to civil society this afternoon. I'm sure you also participated in this particular drive. So our publicity and voter education campaign has been multi-channeled in nature. We have used various channels in order to disseminate information about the electoral process and the various key processes during voting. So we've used communities, we've gone to the church, we've gone door to door, we deployed a total number of 3,700 plus voter educators who went door to door to provide voter education. We distributed various IEC materials for educational purposes, but also we forged various partnerships with yourselves in order to leverage on each other's strengths to provide voter education. So we are hoping that this last remaining days, through yourselves and ourselves, we will still ensure that information is disseminated across the board. Conflict prevention. The Commission has a conflict prevention mechanism through the conflict management committees, which are established at national and district levels. And the conflict management committees are basically established to handle minor electoral disputes. And these committees, they consider and manage the minor conflicts or disputes that may arise during the campaign period. And we use mediation as a form of resolving these conflicts. So our committees have representation of political parties, civil society organizations, but also the church, which chairs all our conflict management committees. Some of the cases which are handled by the conflict management committees are minor in nature. Disputes that may arise, in relation to the campaign meetings or campaign schedules, where political parties or anyone is defacing campaign materials. Those issues can and should be redirected to the conflict management committees. The use of hate speech and also character attacks, allegation of bribery and vote buying, and any other breach that is a breach of the electoral management committees. And at any given point, when a conflict is received by the conflict management committees, priority is given that these conflicts are timely resolved within at least 48 to 72 hours. And in addition to the conflict management committees, we have rolled out the early warning system, which is a mechanism that is meant to timely report any potential conflict or conflict that may occur, and any citizen can actually access our early warning system to make a report of potential conflict or conflict. And they can do so by dialing *214# on any phone. This is accessible even those phones that are not connected to the internet. Then also you can either download the ECZ app and be able to make a report on our early warning system, or just go to the website and log in through the https ecz-ews.org. So the early warning mechanism is very confidential, and any person can actually report, and the ECZ is on hand once those reports are received, one, to verify the incident that has been reported. We have deployed verifiers in each ward to follow up on all the incidents that are actually being reported. Then also, once those incidents are verified, then the conflict management committees and the necessary law enforcement agencies are also fed and activated so that there is timely resolution of conflict. In relation to accreditation, the Commission has launched an accreditation portal where stakeholders can apply for accreditation to the polling stations, totaling centers, and the National Results Center. And we have the accreditation.elections.org.zm portal, which you can commence your accreditation. Now, accreditation is also handled manually. If you can't go and accredit using the online portal, you can go to any district election, the district election office, and be able to apply for accreditation by submitting a letter and also the necessary documentation that you may require. We have various levels of accreditation. The National Results Center, we are receiving applications strictly. These should be done via the ECZ portal online. And then also international observers and international media, they equally need to apply or commence their application online. And also, in addition, there's a mandatory requirement for that all international observers, they need to be cleared by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Then for international media that seek to cover this year's election, they need to also be accredited by ZANIS. So it's mandatory, and only when we have received the clearance, that's when ECZ can accredit. We also have local monitors and local media. These also can utilize the hybrid platform that we have, so you can either go physically to the DEO's office to get accredited, or you can apply online. So whichever method that is convenient for you as local monitors and local media, you can actually do that. We also have accreditation for polling agents. So polling agents are representatives of political parties and candidates. These are deployed at polling station level, and they too need to get a form of accreditation. So accreditation for the polling agents must be done in the respective districts. And the political party needs to write an introductory letter that the following are the agents that we wish to deploy. And these polling agents need to swear or complete the oath form and swear accordingly. It is important that when the political party introduces the agents, they should indicate their full names, national registration card number, and the designated polling station where they will be deployed. And so there is no need for these polling agents to travel to the district centers. Rather, in the various districts, they will be coordinated so that they can be able to sign the oath form, either through the various political parties and through the returning officers. These are going to be coordinated. So just a reminder that, you know, when we issue accreditation as the Commission, this accreditation can be revoked, and there are conditions to which accreditation can be revoked. And one of such is that if the accredited observer or monitor fails to comply with the code of conduct, in that case, then the accreditation can be revoked. Or if an observer or the accredited organization breaches the electoral code of conduct, and also where the accredited person or organization breaches, violates the accreditation conditions. So those are some of the ways in which we can revoke accreditation. And where the Commission has revoked accreditation, this will be communicated and the reason will also be communicated. The Commission plans to deploy over 81,000 post staff to cover the 13,529 polling stations, and we have conducted training successfully, and deployment is also has also commenced today in the various parts of the country to ensure that our post staff are ready for the election on 13th. We have also distributed materials, both the security materials and non-security materials. Just as a reminder, we did receive the ballot papers on 29th and 30th of July, and verification at national level was conducted on 31st of July 2026. And these ballot papers have since gone to all the 116 districts. And there's also distribution of other materials for the elections, which is still ongoing and will conclude by end of day today. So when it comes to voting, there are some people who are allowed within polling stations, totaling centers, and the National Results Center. So it's important for us to familiarize ourselves with personnel who are allowed in the various election centers. So other than the accredited persons, or in addition to the accredited persons, these are observers, monitors, and the polling agents. We also have candidates can go in any polling station. However, they are not allowed to stay in the polling station. They can just go monitor. Remember, they have polling agents who are their eyes in each polling station. So the candidates can go around, but they can't stay. That also applies to the accredited election agents. But in addition, we have the Commission and the Commission staff. The DEOs and the PEOs can also go around the various polling stations. Who is eligible to vote on 13th of August? Simple, must be 18 years and above, in possession of a green national registration card, be a Zambian citizen, and must also possess a voter's card. Such a one is going to vote in this election, and in addition, they must appear in the register of voters. someone is not eligible to vote if they are not in possession of a green national registration card. You can have your voter's card, but if you don't go to a polling station with your NRC, you will not vote. Equally, you can have your NRC, but you are not in possession of your voter's card, you cannot vote. And also, you can have your NRC and your voter's card, but if you don't appear in the register of voters, unfortunately, you cannot vote. So voting will commence from 6 hours in the morning or 6 a.m. and it will close at 18 hours in the evening. So a summary of what to expect when we go to a polling station. You will expect to find an usher, someone who is going to usher the voters to the right polling station or direct them to the right polling station. When you get into a polling station, the voters are expected to be received at table 1, where their voter details will be verified and identified in the register of voters. So the voter is expected to present their green national registration card as well as their voter's card to the officer at table 1. Table 2, the voter, once they've been verified from table 1, then they will be taken to table 2, where their thumb is going to be inked with indelible ink. And they will also be issued with a presidential ballot paper, and that ballot paper needs to be stamped at the back. Okay? It has to be stamped. And step 3 is that from table 2, they will go to table 3, where they will be issued the other 3 ballot papers. That's the ballot paper for the National Assembly election, mayoral, and the councillor election. Equally, these ballot papers need to be stamped at the back. Thereafter, the voter needs to proceed to go to the polling booth, where they will mark, they will make their choice by marking the ballot or the 4 ballot papers with the mark of an X. And thereafter, they will go to the table 5, which is the ballot, where the ballot boxes are. And there is an officer who will assist in guiding the voters to deposit the ballot papers in the correct ballot box. And it is expected that once the voter has voted, they must exit the polling station and go home. Please, let's tell our constituents that they need to go home. They need to go home, and they should not hang around the polling station. Okay? They need to go home. As a matter of just emphasis, our ballot boxes they are color coded. So each election ballot paper corresponds to the color of the ballot box lid. So for presidential ballot paper, the ballot paper will also be orange, and voters will be guided to deposit that ballot paper in the orange, the ballot box with an orange lid. The National Assembly is going to be reddish in color, red. Mayoral is purple, and local government, that's the councillor election, is black. So it will be black-gray somewhere there. And they will be able to deposit that in the black lid ballot box. So it is also important for us to take note that voter identification at table 1 will be done through the register of voters. The Commission will not deploy voter verification devices in this election. So we will use the hard copy register at the polling station. There are voters that require assistance to vote, and some of the voters include expectant mothers, and these are allowed to go to the front of the queue in order for them to be quickly processed. Then persons with disabilities, they are also allowed to go to the front of the queue, and others may need assistance to get in the polling station. Then also, they may also need assistance to make their vote, to cast their vote. So we will talk about assistance to these voters, which includes the tactile ballot paper jacket. The aged are allowed to go to the front of the queue, and then also those that are illiterate, the assistance can be given to them to mark the ballot paper. So where a voter requires assistance, there are certain requirements. So the voter must come with a relative or a friend who is 18 years and above, and that relative or friend must be in possession of a green national registration card. Then they will be allowed to vote. If they don't have a relative or a friend, at a polling station, the presiding officer is gazetted to assist voters. The Commission has in place a certificate of authority to vote. This only applies to police officers and polling staff who have been deployed to work in elections outside the area where they registered to vote. And it is a requirement that any of the police officer or the polling staff that seek to have the certificate of authority to vote, they must present their green national registration card and voter's card to the returning officer. And once the returning officer has counter-checked their details and ascertained that indeed they are registered voters, then they will be issued with a certificate of authority to vote. We are going to have voting template for the blind in all the polling stations across the country, and the ballot paper template has been designed to the length of the presidential election ballot paper, which has 14 candidates. This tactile ballot paper has also got Braille engravement, so you can actually read, somebody who is blind can read. Those that are Braille literate, they can actually read. So this will be used to assist blind voters to vote, but also those that are illiterate or of low vision, they can actually use this template to facilitate them to cast their vote. Once voting closes at 18 hours, the Commission will proceed to results management and counting of results. Results are going to be processed in a four-staged approach. So there will be counting and announcement of results at the polling station, then the transfer of results to the totaling center, then the announcement and declaration of results at the totaling center, transmission of results to the National Totaling Center, then the announcement and declaration of the election results at the National Totaling Center. I must emphasize that at the Totaling Center, for constituencies level, for Totaling Center at constituency level, what will happen is that once all the results have been collated, the returning officer will announce and declare councillors and National Assembly. Then where a district has more than one constituency, the district electoral officer will declare the mayor or council chairperson. Presidential results are not declared at a totaling center, they are simply announced. And the preserve to declare the presidential results is vested in the commission chairperson, who will announce those results and declare the winner at the end of the process here at the National Results Center in Lusaka. So just to take you through in terms of the count at the polling station, So those that can witness the count is the commission and the members of staff, media, the monitors and observers, polling and election agents, and also those that are accredited party officials and the candidates. So when it comes to the count, there are ballot papers that may be recorded as spoiled ballot papers, and a spoiled ballot paper is one which may have been accidentally torn by the polling assistant when issuing. So one of the things I wish to emphasize is that a spoiled ballot paper never makes it into the ballot box. A spoiled ballot paper never makes it into the ballot box. So where a presiding officer accidentally tears the ballot paper, that will be a spoiled ballot. It will be recorded accordingly. Where a voter realizes that they have marked their ballot paper wrongly before they deposit it into the ballot box, then that will be recorded as a spoiled ballot. And where a ballot paper has been stained by ink, that is recorded as a spoiled ballot paper. And then also, a ballot paper may be, after being issued to the voter does not cast it in the ballot paper, in the ballot box, that will be a spoiled ballot. So it's important to distinguish that aspect. So a ballot paper will be considered valid if it meets the following criteria. One, the mark is other than a cross, but the choice of the voter is clear. So the official way of marking in our context is a cross or an X, as we always know it. But where a voter makes a choice other than a cross, and their choice is very clear, that will be considered as a valid vote. And then also a voter makes a mark in a single line indicating their choice, and that equally will be considered as a valid ballot. A rejected ballot is a ballot paper that makes its way in the ballot, it's found in the ballot box. Okay? So it is found in the ballot box. So, but when we are counting, we notice that that ballot paper has no official mark, then it is labeled as rejected. Then also a ballot paper that is marked on more than one candidate, it is rejected. And a ballot paper that has anything written by the voter that identifies them, then that ballot will be rejected. And where a ballot paper that is unmarked, the voter did not make any mark on that ballot paper, that too will be rejected. And then also a ballot paper which is not clear, the voter's choice is not clear, it is not clear for whom the voter has chosen or voted for, that ballot is going to be invalid or rejected. And then also where a candidate has resigned from the election but they've received a vote, unfortunately that will be a rejected ballot. And also where a voter has marked with a thumbprint, that will be marked as rejected. So a summary of the count. So when the counting starts, the presiding officer will inform everyone who is authorized to be in the polling station that we are now proceeding to count the ballot papers. So the first stage is that all the ballot papers that are found in the ballot box will be counted. Then they will be sorted according to the various candidates that have stood in that election. Then the entries will be summarized. That is, each candidate, what they have gotten, those will be summarized on the record of proceedings. Then the next stage will be that the presiding officer will complete the statement of rejected ballot papers. So that will be done, and then the results form, the announcement of results form will also be completed, and the results will be announced. At polling station level, we do not declare results, we just announce what results have been recorded at that polling station. At the totaling center, you will find a returning officer, assistant returning officers, and an assistant returning officer IT. And the stages at the totaling center include that the first step is that the presiding officers from the various polling stations, when they arrive at the totaling center, they need to hand over security and non-security materials to the assistant returning officers. Then they proceed to have their results verified by a team of the returning officers. Once those results have been verified, then those results will be announced. There'll be an announcement of the results to everyone so that everyone knows the results that have been received from which polling station and what are the records. Then those results will be captured on the chart. There's always a chart that is there for all stakeholders to follow, as well as the record of proceedings. And then the assistant returning officer, IT, will capture the same results on the results kit. Thereafter, when all the results from the polling stations in that constituency have been received, then the returning officer will conclude the collation of the results and make the announcement of results. And remember, I earlier stated that presidential results will be announced. For a district that has multiple constituencies, those results will be announced by the DEO in terms of declaration of the mayoral results. But in that constituency, which sits in a district with multiple constituency, those results will be announced together with the presidential results. Declaration of results will be made for the member of parliament and the councillor. So then the National Results Center, the similar procedure will also take on. So in terms of allocation of seats for proportional seats, we all know that with the amendment of the Constitution, we now have proportional representation electoral system. The Commission has engaged stakeholders on this aspect. So remember, in Parliament, we have 40 seats, which are reserved for proportional seats, but also we have seats at local level in the councils to the tune of 18% of the total number of councillor ward-based seats. Those are going to be proportional seats. So something to take note, that the Commission will need to distribute seats within 7 days of the swearing in of the president-elect. These seats need to be distributed. Now, who gets these seats? It's only political parties that sponsored a presidential candidate. They are the only ones who can participate in the distribution of seats. And National Assembly, as well as local government seats under the PR system, will be distributed to political parties using the valid votes obtained by the presidential candidates at national level. So both at the council level, we will use the valid votes received from the presidential candidates at national level. So once the Commission has distributed the seats, political parties will be communicated to, and they are required to submit a party list in accordance to the number of seats that they have received after within 7 days after the distribution of seats. The political parties will then also be required to pay an election fee equivalent to a nomination fee that will be dependent on the number of seats which each political party has obtained. And the party list submitted by a political party must be signed by the president and the secretary general, or the president and the deputy secretary general of that particular political party that participated in the election. So once those lists are ready, they will be submitted to the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Zambia, who is in this case will be the returning officer for receipt of National Assembly party lists. And for the council party lists, these should be redirected to the respective district election officers across the country. And it is important to note that where a candidate contested under first past the post, they will not be eligible to be on the party list. They can't be, maybe they didn't make it and they can't then be nominated to be on the party list. And then also, every party list needs to be accompanied by a consent form signed by each candidate that is going to appear on that party list. A political party must submit a party list for each category for the National Assembly and councils as follows. So a party should submit the seats for women in accordance to the number of seats they've obtained, youth in accordance to the number of seats they've obtained, and persons with disabilities in accordance to the number of seats they've obtained. A party list with disabilities shall contain alternates of the classes of disabilities and have candidates that are in possession of a certificate of registration under the Persons with Disability Act. So what that simply entails is that if a party has obtained 3 seats under persons with disabilities, for example, they need to alternate. The first one may be a person who is deaf. Then the next will be a blind. Then maybe the next will be a person with albinism. The Commission will process the party lists that will be received and publish the names of the members of parliament and councillors that have obtained a seat under the PR system in a government gazette or under national newspaper with general circulation or any other electronic media within 7 days after the receipt of the party lists from the political parties. So the publication of lists will end the process of allocation of seats for those who are going to participate under the PR system. I would like to thank you for your attention. I will step down as we open up plenary. Sylvia.
Thank you very much, Emma, for that elaborate presentation. We will now open the floor for questions, comments, clarifications on the presentation. And I'm going to begin from this end. I can already see 2 hands, the one in the front. Please give us your name and your organization, where you are coming from, and ask your question.
Good. This time, I believe it's afternoon. My name is Hagarebula Lazarus from the Zambia National Federation of the Blind, where I also serve as vice president. So I have 2 questions. Number 1, it was here emphasized that after casting a vote, the voter must go home. But we have heard certain people telling others to stick around and protect their votes. in such incidences, what is the Electoral Commission going to do? And also, even before it gets to that, is there any way of reprimanding those that are misinforming people in such a manner? That is number one. My second question is that there are certain polling stations where there will be some voters with hearing impairment. Now, is there any one who is going to help those people with sign language? So those are my two questions. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you very much for the questions. Please, let's limit our questions at least to one so that others can also ask. Yes, sir. At the back, on my right.
Is it afternoon or is it morning? Good afternoon. My question is, my full name is Amson Divers Chongo. I'm coming from Zambia Congress of Trade Union. You said the ballot paper must be stamped. Now, the officers sometimes can get overwhelming because it's not the voters to stamp. And it's not everyone who is present here to know that this ballot paper must be stamped. So, in an instance that this document is not stamped at the back, like you said, what happens? Does it become a sport ballot paper?
Thank you very much for those questions. I'll get one more in this round. There's our lady here, this one here.
My name is Annette, also from Zambia Congress of Trade Unions. I'll ask a question from the perspective of the workers' rights. What measures has ECZ put in place to engage employers to ensure that workers are released from their duties with sufficient time for them to go and vote on that day without intimidation, discrimination, or even loss of pay?
Thank you very much for those questions. For now, I will give an opportunity to the CEO and management to respond to the 5 questions that we have.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for the questions. I will address a few and seek the support of my colleagues in management to address them. The question around people sticking around the polling station after casting their vote, what must be understood is that the law provides there's a perimeter of about 400 meters around which there are designated persons allowed to get there. So, of course, for purposes of casting their vote, voters are allowed to go in, but once they have cast their vote, they then need to leave. What stakeholders must remember is that regardless of the interest group, an opportunity has been provided by the Commission to accredit monitors for civil society organizations, faith-based, as we're meeting here today. And for candidates, they have an opportunity to appoint agents in each and every polling station. So there is already enough people in the polling station to take care of the various interests. Now, other than those accredited to remain in the polling station even as the transition goes into counting, the rest, they are not allowed. And therefore, the law tech is course in the sense that we have already, in our training, indicated to the security services that this is what is provided for. Let me ask my colleague to address the issue of sign language before I pick up on the question from ZCTU.
Thank you, CEO. So in relation to availability of sign language interpreters at polling stations, I must indicate that the Commission has invested in inclusion awareness to all our post staff. We have actually provided training for them to know how to interact and relate with persons with disabilities. So in an event that we do not have sign language interpretation services at a polling station, our staff have the capacity to interact and engage with those that are deaf. And we have given them tips and hints on how to actually engage so that we can facilitate for deaf voters to be able to cast their vote properly. But also, in addition, we have also provided adequate posters that are easy to read and easy to follow for deaf voters that are able to, that have basic literacy skills. They should be able to be assisted. But the presiding officer, as well as the poll staff, have been given the capacity to manage various voters with various forms of disabilities.
The question from ZCTU was about the official mark. So this is a mark that is placed at the back of ballot paper by way of stamping. Stakeholders will recall that during the discussions around the amendment to the Electoral Process Act, this was a proposal from the Commission, which was received very strong views from stakeholders, and as such, this provision was not amended. It's a legal requirement that a ballot paper be marked at the back, stamped with an official mark, for it to, once cast, for it to be considered valid. So at this point, we have done our best as the Electoral Commission to ensure that our officers are fully trained in that respect. So we are confident that they will follow through the provisions of the law and stamp the ballot papers as they issue them to the voters before they cast. In terms of engaging the workers, the law recognizes that poll day is a public holiday. So that in itself is a safeguard for employees. We realize there are certain services that are essential to society and therefore will require some people to work come August 13th. The Commission will proceed to issue a statement in that respect, and the workers may leverage that to obtain their necessary authorities for them to go have an opportunity to cast their votes. But let's remember, Thursday will be a public holiday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will now turn to my left-hand side. Please avail microphone to, maybe I'll start with the one who is sitting in front here with a microphone. Please, you can ask your question, and I'll move like that.
Good afternoon. I'm Wafika Mateo Mtonga from Tivote. My question is on announcement of presidential results. I've heard that the Electoral Process Act says that within 72 hours the results must be announced. Now, I'd like to find out what could be some reason which will make the Commission not announce the results after, within 72 hours, or maybe after 72 hours. What could be the reason that would make the Commission do that. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. We can take the next question.
I'm Sonda from ADEG. My question is on the officials who will be given certificates to go and vote at designated polling station. I just want to find out what are the limitations. Which elections will they be eligible, to participate in? Is it presidential or any other? And what are the safeguards have you put in place to avoid influx of people who present themselves, with those certificates, at such a polling station? Thanks.
Thank you very much. I can see a hand of the lady right behind the gentleman who just asked the question. Could you please, you can ask your question.
Thank you very much. My name is Ruth Ngoma, the Commonwealth Youth Ambassador for Zambia, and also with Common Grounds Network. So my question is, with the misinformation and politically motivated content that is spreading rapidly online, what is ECZ's strategy for ensuring that voters receive accurate information without compromising freedom of expression? And for the accredited monitors that will be at the National Results Center, how will they be helped to exercise their rights in an instance where somebody registered to vote from a different constituency and they have now been accredited to be part of the people that will be monitoring at the National Results Center? Thank you.
We will take another question. There's a hand just here. There's a lady here. Please, you can proceed to ask.
Good afternoon. My name is Shalom from Zambia Federation of Disability Organizations. And my question is regarding the PR seats for persons with disabilities. I think in the presentation you mentioned that, for example, if a political party has been allocated 3 seats, those need to be distributed to persons with disabilities that have different disabilities. What measures has the Commission put in place where political parties do not find, for example, qualified, persons with disabilities that have like different disabilities, especially at a local level? What provisions are there that still allow that these seats are occupied by persons with disabilities? Thank you.
I'll take the last one in this round. I think the gentleman here.
Thank you very much. My name is Kambele Joseph from Make Zambia Great Movement. My question is, what practical, independent, verifiable safeguards will the Commission demonstrate to Zambian people that will guarantee that every ballot legitimately casted at a polling station will be accurately counted, securely transmitted, correctly collated, and ultimately reflected in the declared results?
Thank you very much for those questions. I will allow the CEO and other members of management to respond to those questions.
Thank you. The first question related to announcement of declaration of the presidential results. Firstly, to correct that the 72 hours is not provided for in the Electoral Act. It's an administrative commitment of the Commission. The law in Zambia does not prescribe the period within which the Commission has to declare. What the Commission has committed to is that it will work at declaring the presidential election results within 72 hours of the close of the last polling station. Let me also take this opportunity to indicate that the operative word there is within. So it's not that the commission will wait until 72 hours. Regular announcements will be made, as has already been indicated from the respective constituencies and indeed from the National Results Center. However, it's the declaration that will come at the end that is projected to be done within 72 hours. I will invite our Manager of Voter Education to speak to the Certificate of Authority to Vote and the safeguards thereof.
Thank you, CEO. So the Certificate of Authority to Vote is only issued to security personnel. So you must be deployed to go and provide security services during the election. So these would be police officers and the election staff, the election officers. These are polling staff, the presiding officers, who are deployed outside their polling stations. So the safeguard that is there, I earlier mentioned that, number one, you must belong to any of these two categories. You must be either providing security in an election, or you must be a poll staff that is deployed by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Number two, you must be a registered voter, and you must be in possession of a green national registration card. So at the point at which the returning officer is actually issuing the certificate of authority for you to vote, they will have to verify that indeed you are a registered voter, indeed you are in possession of a green national registration card and a voter's card. And then that's when you can be issued with a certificate of authority to vote. And you should also appear, of course, the same requirements. You should appear in the register of voters. Thereafter, if you are deployed to work in the same ward, but away from your polling station, you have to follow me in the same ward delimitation. Then you can vote for the councillor, your member of parliament, the mayor or council chairperson, and president level. But if you are deployed outside your ward in the same constituency, then you will only vote for National Assembly, mayoral, and president. If you are deployed outside your constituency and your district, okay? Outside your constituency and the district, or outside your constituency first, but within the same district, you will only vote for mayoral and National Assembly. Mayoral and president level. And if you are deployed outside your district, then you can only vote for the president in the presidential election. So those are the requirements for the certificate of authority to vote. It's actually not easy to get that certificate. You have to be thoroughly screened. Thank you.
Thank you. The question from Common Grounds Network, I'll start with the second one, then I'll invite Sylvia to address the one on misinformation. Accreditation to the National Results Center does not limit you from going, just wake up early, go and cast your vote. The Results Center will open much later in the afternoon for any updates, as it were. So please take opportunity, go and vote, and then proceed to access the center if you're duly accredited. Sylvia, you may address the one on misinformation before I come back on the last two.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO. There was a question on how the Commission is addressing misinformation and disinformation. First of all, you may have noticed that the Commission has taken a proactive step. So we are proactively disseminating the correct information and also disclosing information proactively to stakeholders through stakeholder engagements like the one that we are having right now, and also through other platforms, social media, radio and television, print media, and various other means of communicating. So we are proactively disclosing and disseminating information. And on an everyday basis, the Commission is monitoring the media to make sure that we debunk any information that may not be correct through an automated system, as we have engaged a media monitoring agency that monitor media on a daily basis, print media, social media, electronic media, to ensure that they bring up any kind of information that is circulating in the media environment, so that we can have some intervention to anything that may not be the correct information. And if you've also noticed that there's quite a lot of misinformation that is going on, and immediately we notice this, we actually cross that kind of information with a fake to show that that information is not correct. And that information will also lead you to where or from which platform that fake information could have emanated from. We are also engaging with social media platform owners like TikTok and Meta, just to ensure that they can assist us in this area. Then, in addition to that, we have also trained media personnel across the country from mainstream media, and we have a common platform through which information is shared, and our trained media personnel are also able to share alerts with us so that we are able to see what is happening in the media, and immediately we can be able to give some intervention or some action. So those are some of the ways in which we are trying to avert misinformation and misinformation. I believe that when there are more people speaking, giving the correct information than the ones that are giving the wrong information, we stand to win. Thank you very much. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you. The next question was about allocation of the PRS seats and measures to ensure that this is done. The starting point is that the timelines that were shared are stipulated in law, so the Commission cannot exercise discretion and extend them. And it is for this reason that we've done our best before time to advise the political parties, to inform them and of these timelines, so that immediately the results are declared, in fact, even before the results are declared, they are already identifying the possible candidates, so that when the results are declared, they will have the 7 days within which the Commission will be allocating. So those are the 7 days they can also do their own calculation, because the formula is public information anyway, stipulated in law. So they will be able to assess that from this performance will be entitled to so many in this particular district, or indeed even at the National Assembly level. So within that 7 days that the Commission is doing its allocation, they would have already compiled their list, so that as they get notification, they will simply have to submit to their respective offices. So again, we have emphasized that focus should not only be on National Assembly, but let them pay attention to the council seats, especially that we're speaking about 116 districts. The last question in this segment related to safeguards. I could not take note of every word used in the question, but essentially the question was asking about the integrity of the process of the results management from beginning to end. So the assurance from the Commission is that this process, again, is anchored in law, and it's a process that is very clear to every Zambian. Counting will take place at the polling station in the presence of accredited monitors and observers, as well as agents for the respective candidates. After counting, the results forms will be completed, which will also be availed to those present. So a copy will be availed to those present. These results will be taken to the tally center, and which are the respective 226 constituencies. At that point, as was indicated in the presentation, when they arrive at the constituency center, the result for that polling station will also be announced to those present within the totaling center before proceeding to include it in the necessary documentation at the tally center. After the returning officer has concluded their work, they will again announce that result at the constituency. In terms of the performance, if we're speaking presidential, of the presidential candidate in that constituency, those announced results will also be available to the accredited observers and monitors, their copies, but also by the fact that they will be announced, meaning they will be available through the media to the nation at large. And then it is at that point that then they will be transmitted to head office for tabulation and collation for purposes of declaring the presidential candidate. So the whole process is very clear, is open to observation by stakeholders, and by the time the commission is declaring, really it's things that would be in public domain, as it were. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO. I think I will still get back to this side. I saw many hands. There's a hand right at the back. I think I'll pick from the back and then I'll come to the front like this. Could you please, the man at the back, at the very back there? Yes. Microphone. Maybe you can walk to the nearest microphone.
Thank you so much. My name is Lombe Chansonso from Zambian Youth for Economic Forum. My question is on accreditation. As we all know, the due date is 11th, which is tomorrow. My question is that, is it possible if it can be extended to maybe like the 12th before the elections? Because there are some organizations that were approved late. So I think it's not fair because they didn't have much time to do the accreditation. So my question is that, is it possible if it can be extended? Thank you.
Thank you. The next, first of all, the people at the back, please move to the nearest microphone. And the next person, please get ready to ask. Then I'll come to the front and I'll finish up from this end.
Okay. My name is Roy Mwilu, Council of NGOs in Zambia. I know you explained the process of voting, but I didn't hear you explain the legally approved symbol for when people are voting. I've seen a lot of comments on whether it's an X, whether it's a tick, whether it's a full stop, or that, which is the legally accepted symbol. Thank you.
I'm still dealing with the people who were sitting at the back. The lady.
Okay, she had the same question, so
okay.
I'll take it up.
Or somebody had asked your question.
My name is Michel Raymond from the University of Zambia, and my question is on the polling hours. You said 6 to 18. Are you preparing for any sort of extension in a situation where, let's say, people are still so many outside the polling station? Is there a possibility of you extending the hours, or you just close the polling stations when it's 18 hours? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much. I saw, yes, sir, you can ask your question.
Thank you very much, moderator. My name is David Mvula from Common Grounds Network. CEO, thank you very much. You have tried to labor the point in terms of what is a valid vote. And you have given a number of examples. It could be a tick, it could be a line, it could be an X. But would want to hear from you again, although the presenter mentioned in her presentation, but I think hearing it from you to be very important. How does an invalid ballot looks like? How do you describe an invalid ballot, or a ballot which has been disqualified? Would you explain more about it? Thank you.
Please, let's ensure that if a question has been asked, it might have been asked in different English or different words, but it's the same question. Let's ask something different. Yes, sir, I can see a hand there. There.
No. Thank you very much. My name is Mudilo Emmanuel from the Zambia National Federation of the Blind. For me, first and foremost, we would like to appreciate ECZ for the efforts and the help or the work done so far in ensuring that blind people also vote independently. But the question is, don't you consider maybe in the future to try and put the readings on the tactile jacket, like mentioning words instead of just numbers? Because from what we heard was that there's candidate 1, candidate 2, maybe up to candidate 14 only in Braille. To an extent where now, if I want to vote, I'll ask maybe an assistant or maybe the presiding officer to read out to me to say a candidate 5 is from Mango Party or Guava Party. Don't you even maybe consider, say, okay, maybe you put even just the name of the party, if maybe names are too long in future. And then probably, lastly, just to find out when you invite persons with disabilities also to take part in maybe monitoring these maybe production of the ballot papers and maybe post stuff. Like we heard that very late, the person with a hearing impairment is the one who went to Dubai to go and monitor the production of Braille or maybe tactile ballots. How possible is that? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I see hands keep springing up. So from this end, I'll take the last 3 from this end, and that's it. So let's start from the end there.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. My name is Nathan Twali Mlenga from Swalapilu. My question is based on reporting mechanisms. I think when the presenter was making a presentation, she made mention of managing committees that will be managing the conflicts or disputes. So we were only given, we're only shown one dialed number, which is *214#. Are there other mechanisms that will be put in place that people will be using when it comes to reporting these incidents? And how long will it take for them to get back to the individuals that will be reporting these incidents? Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Savoy Songiso from the Human Rights Commission. First of all, I'd like to commend the Commission for the inclusivity where, I think from the report you said 20,162 have been
persons with disability have been registered, out of which about 2,353 are wheelchair users. I would like to just understand what mechanisms or measures have been put in place to ensure that the 2,353 voters will vote without discrimination. The polling station inclusive in such a way that they're able to wheel themselves inside and vote besides just being put in the front of the line? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think for now, I'll allow the CEO and management to respond to those questions, and then I will give the last chance to the row on my right-hand side. I'm not coming back to the left. CEO.
Thank you. I think the first question was on accreditation. Please take advantage of the remaining 1.5 days. Let's not already start to speak about extension. We still have the afternoon today and the day tomorrow, the full day tomorrow. So let's take advantage and get accredited. The commission, the next two questions are about the marking of a ballot paper to signify the choice of the voter. The commission has followed closely public discourse on this issue. Let me assure the stakeholders here present that in the next few, probably hours, even minutes, the Commission will issue a very comprehensive statement on this issue. So just be patient. Shortly today, we will issue a very comprehensive statement on this issue, demonstrating that the Commission is not changing positions. The Commission is consistent with the law. So please be patient. That statement will be released shortly. There was an aspect on the extension of polling hours. The law already provides. So official polling hours are between 06 hours and 18 hours in the evening. However, if a voter is on the queue at 18, they have the right to cast their vote. So they will be allowed to, even if that takes another 18 hours, God forbid, but they will be allowed to cast their vote. So you need not worry. Make sure you are on the queue. But this is not to say we all wait until 18. It's 12 hours of the day that have been provided for. So let's be as early as possible to cast our vote so that then we can also contribute to results being announced quicker, because if we all go at 18, that extends the voting to the late hours and therefore extends the counting. So let's be there early so that we vote and then we proceed to the announcement. I will call upon Manager of Voter Education to speak to the question on from Zafford and on inclusion, and probably also on the early warning system and the question from Human Rights Commission.
Thank you, CEO. So thank you for the question that we have received from Zanfob. It is definitely the Commission's desire that every voter who goes to cast their vote, they do so in the most secret way, but also every facility has to be there for them. So I know we have been engaging in various platforms. This is something that the Commission is looking forward to. We should have one day the ballot paper that should be, should have Braille, so that every voter should do it for themselves without being assisted. So we've received this recommendation time and again, and the Commission is committed to ensuring that inclusivity is mainstreamed in all the various processes of the electoral process, and we make sure that every voter is catered for their needs. So we take that as a recommendation, and as we have done so in the past. In the issue relating to the need for persons with disabilities to be invited for monitoring of ballot papers. Like you've rightly noted, we did have representation from ZAPID, Zambia Agency for Persons with Disabilities. The Commission, when we sent out the invitation, it was the onus of choosing a representative was left to the institution. But we've taken note the feedback that has come from this particular process, and we really look forward to having even more than one person, one form of disability represented in some of these processes. So we equally take that as a recommendation. Mechanisms for conflict management and what are the other alternative channels of reporting and how long it takes to receive feedback. So conflict management committees are present in every district. Every district has a conflict management committee. The number that we shared earlier through the early warning system is just one of those channels that the Commission has expanded in order to ensure that citizens have alternative routes to actually report any potential conflict as well as conflict. So as a citizen, you can actually also physically go to the office of the district electoral officer and be able to lodge in your complaint. So if you are not able to go through the *214#, which I believe is always active, you want to physically get an interaction with someone, you can go to any location, any council in the country which hosts the district electoral office, and you will be able to be attended to. We also, other than that, you also can actually log in and send an email to the Electoral Commission of Zambia in order for you to make a report or even reach the Electoral Commission of Zambia through our public lines so that you can make a report. Okay. So then the question that came from the Human Rights Commission was asking what measures have been put in place to ensure that no voter is discriminated in this process, and also the issue of accessibility of polling stations, especially for those that are wheelchair users. So to start with, the Commission uses public facilities as well as private facilities, and those are the venues in which we host our elections. So to the extent that is possible, the Commission ensures that all polling stations are located in venues that are accessible either by a ramp, or these are actually located at ground level to ensure that every voter can easily access the polling station, whether they are using a wheelchair or not. So, of course, we do take cognizance of the fact that in certain locations, some polling stations may not be accessible because maybe they are elevated, but also maybe there are other impediments that exist to access that polling station. So the Commission has given guidance that, for example, if we go to a school and there are multiple classrooms that are available, the classroom that is closest to where a ramp is, that is where we should establish the polling station. And voters that have any challenges are welcome to engage with the presiding officer so that we can explore how best the voters can actually have access into the polling station. We also have outlined in this, this morning and afternoon that other than basically maybe access to polling stations, we have provided various mechanisms to ensure that persons with disabilities are also accorded an opportunity to vote. We have the tactile ballot paper jacket, but we also have assistance for voters that have special needs. So there are various mechanisms that the Commission is actually working on, and we hope that this election can be one of those elections that would be better in terms of accessibility. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO, and thank you, Emma. In the spirit of fairness, because that's our DNA, I will give the last opportunity to this side, Reverend, and then we can go like this.
Thank you so much, CEO, good afternoon, and management and stakeholders that are gathered. Let me first of all begin by commending the Commission. As Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, we want to recognize your hard work so far, and also Voter Education Manager, Madam Emma Mwinga, for your presentation that is very, very thorough. And I believe that as stakeholders, I think our duty is to take the right message to help the common man out there. There's been lots of falsehoods, but I believe that this engagement is a call on us to ensure that the nation gets the right message. My only question, CEO, on your part is, would you assure the nation that the voters will be safe? I know that you may not really be the Zambia police or security agencies, but can the nation be assured that when they go out on August 13, they will be very, very safe to cast their vote and return home safe? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can take the next question. At the far end of this line. Please, I see you hesitating to raise your hand. So I didn't see you earlier. I saw the one at your back. So we can have that one and then we can come to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Reverend Jimmy Ngambi from the House of Clergy. Firstly, we want to commend the Electoral Commission of Zambia. I think this is a very important engagement, and what has happened up to this far really has demonstrated inclusivity, transparency, and a desire to see a free, fair, and credible election. Let me also appreciate what we have been updated here today. We have been seeing a lot of misinformation on social media, but I think I have always been pleased, even as an organization, we are pleased to note that we see counters and clarifications within 24 hours from the Commission. That has helped the communities to maintain peace, and we commend the Commission for such a mechanism that sees that misinformation does not prolong under debate. I have a question to see to it that the commitment that the ECZ has made, I heard the CEO clearly indicating that the commitment is that within the shortest period of time, which is 72 hours, we can have results. We commend the ECZ for this commitment because indeed it is demonstrating that you feel and you understand that prolonging results is what causes tension. And so we stand with you on this commitment. And I think we also now agree with the remarks for the chairperson when she opened, asking all of us not to spread misinformation because that may be a recipe for delayed processes, especially on results. My question is, CEO, how is the collaboration between the Electoral Commission of Zambia and the security agencies, especially on the day of voting? Because misinformation sometimes emerges that certain people are picked by police on a matter that is electoral related, thereby differentializing other people from voting or disadvantaging them in that regard from voting while they attend to these issues at the police. So I wanted to find out the collaboration and relationship and how fast their matters are handled to make sure that every individual participates on the voting day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Next.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to be clear on one point. I've heard that conflict management committees were put in place to work during the campaigning period. So I want to find out what the measures that have been put in place after the campaigning period, because the campaigning period has got the end time. So what is the position of a commission after the campaigning period where conflict management is concerned? Thank you.
Okay. I believe that's the last hand there. Okay, we have that one and the last. Please, sir, there, ask your question, then I'll get the last hand.
Thank you for the opportunity again. This is not a question. I would just want to make a humble request to ECZ, because we don't know what official communication you are going to release in regard to the official marking. Now, please put in mind or have in mind that persons with visual impairment, if you tell them an X, you restrict them to an X. We don't know what that is, because our X in Braille should be different from your X in ink. So if you tell me to say the officially recognized mark is X, then you are telling me not, I mean, to be hesitant in using the tactile jacket, because I will definitely not provide you with an X because I don't know what it is. So even as you put that, if there should be an exceptional, please let it be clear, because the blind shouldn't be disadvantaged for this which they do not know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We're picking the last question.
Okay, once again, my name is Hanok Kasuma from ZMBC. My question is basic but significant on a egalitarian basis. I noticed from the presentation that we have drastic law participation of women in parliamentary and local government elections. So on a egalitarian basis, in that the Constitution, Article 8 and 45 provide for equity in participation. How robust or how frequent is the Electoral Commission of Zambia engaging political parties to ensure that there is equity in terms of adoption? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I will give the CEO the floor to respond to those questions.
Thank you. Begin by appreciating the commendations. I think they'll go a long way, especially in this season of long working hours. Wish to reiterate the Commission's commitment and assurance in terms of the safety of the voter out there, This assurance is based on the fact that in the planning and implementation of all these activities, the police and other security agencies are a key stakeholder, and therefore the Commission is working closely. It is for this reason that at the very minimum we have a uniformed officer at each polling station to ensure that voters cast their votes in peace. But necessary plans are in place, which we are confident that those responsible will be there to safeguard the peace of the nation as we go to vote on 13th August. When it comes to offenses, again, the law is very clear. So when the police are making, if an offense warrants an arrest, the police do that based on clear legal provisions. And therefore, we cannot begin to say, no, don't arrest this time of the day because someone is doing this and so on. I think it's a very clear legal issue. When an offense is committed, then the police will exercise their powers within their legal provisions to execute their mandate for purposes of law and order in the country. I will jump the one on conflict management and address one more before I invite my colleagues to come in. I will address the appeal that while we, as you await the a statement from the Commission to address this issue of how to mark a ballot paper, that your appeal is grounded, and be rest assured that the response from the Commission is based in law, so it will address all other aspects and indeed all interest groups, as it were. So Commission will stick to the legal provisions as it has already been consistent, and will clarify this issue so that we can together move to August 13th with that understanding. I will now invite our acting Commission Secretary to speak to the conflict management issue, and thereafter Manager Voter Education will address the aspect of low participation of women in the first past the post seats.
Thank you, CEO. So the question is measures put in place after the campaign period has come to an end vis-a-vis conflict management, and the statement that conflict management are active during the campaign period. So firstly, to note that yes, conflict management committees are active during the campaign period, but you will note that after the campaign period is done, what comes in now is the poll day. So once polling is done, the next activity then moves. It's like a relay. It shifts now from the Electoral Commission of Zambia, which was had created these conflict management committees. It now moves to adjudication in the court process. So things like election petitions now kick in, because you are talking about challenge in which the Electoral Commission of Zambia is usually also a party to these challenges. So what comes in place of conflict management committee, I wouldn't say in place really, but after campaign period, after the poll, we talk about adjudication, the process of determining whether a candidate has been validly elected, election petitions, and all that process now kicks in. And there are also days that are provided. Remember, for parliamentary, the court is supposed to hear those matters within, is it 90 days? For local government, you have the courts hearing those matters within 30 days. So there are also timelines. For presidential election petition, you have the courts hearing and determining the matter within 14 days. So that is the process that kicks in after. I hope I've answered the question.
Thank you. So in relation to the question that has come, inquiring on how frequent and robust has the Commission engaged with political parties to ensure that there are more women who are adopted, and this is in view of the low numbers that we've seen in this election of those that are aspiring. So the Commission has continuously been engaging political parties to ensure that they embrace affirmative action, but also prioritize to adopt women aspiring candidates throughout the whole process. You may wish to note that this engagement has been ongoing for a long time. And on the Commission end, to show our commitment, we have also implemented affirmative action in relation to the payment of nomination fees. So female candidates actually pay lower fees as compared to the male counterparts. This is to also demonstrate that as a commission, we are also interested, because some of the barriers that limit women from participating in politics has to do with economic power. So we continue engaging political parties, and we also want to call upon the civil society organization. This is a very ripe audience that we have this afternoon, that together let's continue knocking on the doors of political parties so that there can be more women that are adopted in future elections and not just leave it to chance. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I bet that we have exhausted all the questions, and I hope that your questions were ably answered. We are now going towards the end of our meeting. We would like to thank you for your attention. At this point, I would like to call upon the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Brown Casaro, to come and give some closing remarks. Sir.
Thank you, Sylvia. Distinguished stakeholders, members of the press, thank you very much for your patience. We started around 11 hours this morning, and we are still here. We appreciate your patience and your endurance. This means that you're taking this process very seriously. Once again, wish to reiterate the message of the chairperson that the Commission is on course and ready to conduct the general election on 13th August 2026. As we get to that day, please make sure that primarily your voting documents are in place, that is your voter's card and your national registration card, so that you may cast your vote. But also, since we're speaking to the church or faith-based organizations and civil society and the media, ensure that you have your accreditation to be able to execute also your respective roles in this election. Wish to advise that this is not the end of engagements with stakeholders from the Commission. We will be launching the National Election Results Center, which will be housed right here at the Mulungushi in the Kenneth Kaunda wing. And from the date of the launch going forward, that will be the center for any public engagements from the Commission. So we will receive our invitation by way of a public notice on the launch. We continue to reiterate our call for us to work together to combat misinformation and indeed disinformation, especially at this critical hour as we are getting very close to the general election. Once again, the Commission remains open to further engagement, even at individual organization level. You may reach out to us if any clarifications are required, so that together we can participate meaningfully in the electoral process and thereby enrich our democracy. We thank you once again this afternoon, and on behalf of the Commission, we are grateful for your participation. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO, for those closing remarks. So as we end, I will ask that we stand. We're going to start with a word of prayer from Reverend Alan Kasungami. Then we will sing the national anthem.
Let's bow our heads in prayer. Dear God, again, we thank you for guiding us in this discourse. We know very well the immense weight with which, oh God, this responsibility comes. Thank you for what you have done through the Electoral Commission of Zambia. And thank again, our Father, for the stakeholders who were present. We've listened. And now we pray that we be true emissaries of information that is accurate and clear for the masses. We look to you, O God, for this week. As we head towards the general election, we're trusting you for peace, for good health. We're trusting you that love, O God, will be our message and the word on our lips as citizens of our country. We commend every candidate to you, that be with each one of them wherever they are. To you, our God, we pray that now you receive the praise, the glory and the honor for all that you have done. Through Jesus Christ, our Savior, we pray. Amen.
Amen. May we sing the national anthem. Stand and sing of Zambia, proud and free, land of work and joy in unity, victors in the struggle for the right. We've won freedom's fight, oh, one strong and free. Africa is our own motherland, fashioned with and blessed by God's good hand. Let us, all her people, join as one, brothers under the sun, oh, one strong and free. One land and one nation is our cry. Dignity and peace neath Zambia's sky. Like our noble eagle in its flight, Zambia, praise to thee. Oh, one strong and free. Praise be to God. Praise be, praise be. Bless our great nation, Zambia. Free men we stand under the flag of our land, Zambia. Praise to thee. Oh, one strong and free. Thank you. We are going to receive coupons from our colleague who is going to stand by the door.